I've been away for a little bit and I have so much new makeup to dig into. Look at this. I have this full... We're not gonna be using all of this today, but we are gonna be using some of this today. And what I'm thinking about using, first of all, I do have the new collection by ColourPop. This is the Tangled collection. I still never used the Pixar collection. I think I'm gonna use that in a reel instead because I am fighting for my life right here to keep up. But we are going to be using this one. I also have the new blush trio by MORPHE, and I did bring out the one that's called Cheek Thrills in Sunset Swim, and I thought we'd use that one. I also have this is a grippy serum primer. Do you see, like, it's liquidy? It's by Maybelline, so we're going to be using that one. I also am in the process still of, this one needs to be shaken up. I'm still in the process of reviewing the Lawless foundation, and I'm thinking now that I have my tan on that my summer shade, which is in 5L, will actually work for me. I'm also still reviewing the Estee Lauder concealer, and what else do I have? I'm still using the Givenchy powder. What do I have? Oh, the bronzers by MORPHE. This is the one in Sudden Heat. Wait, is this an Ignite? I think this might be an Ignite. Is this my shade? We'll see. We'll see. I had something else that I wanted to talk about. Oh, the new blushes by ColourPop. So excited. And probably what I'm actually the most excited. I don't know. Is that... maybe. This is the liquid highlighters that are part of the Tangled collection. I am so excited about those. And I had... Where is it? We have the clip. Do we need to use Pascal? The clip from the collection? Should I? Maybe we'll get into Pascal as well. I have a couple of other new things here as well. I'm thinking maybe we'll try the glosses from ColourPop. And I actually have a new mascara. This is from Giorgio Armani. I don't know how I got on their PR list, but it looks very promising because it has a plastic wand, and I love a plastic wand. So we're actually going to start with the primer. Actually, is this where we use the Pascal one? Do I have a scissor here? Oh, I didn't need it. Never mind. How do I? This is the cutest accessory ever. Listen, I will take no further questions about that. This one is, she's a hairdresser. Oh my, is this so cute? Okay, that is the cutest thing ever. I'm just putting that away so we don't get that all over the place. So I think some of these things I got in PR. I did buy the powder myself. I'm pretty sure I bought these myself as well because I bought this shade myself. And I think the rest I got in PR. But I will put all the things down below, and I will let you know which ones are PR, which ones I bought with my own money, and I will link all the things in case you're interested. They will also pop up here in, okay, they will also pop up in YouTube shopping on the screen. If you're interested in purchasing anything, I do earn a small commission if you do that. So this serum is literally a serum. That does not smell like something you should be putting on your face. I say as I rub it in. That smells like house insulation. At least it doesn't have fragrance in it. Listen, this is supposed to be a gripping primer. They sent me another gripping primer too, but that one was a hydrating one, and this one was just a gripping one. Oh, it's definitely grippy. It's definitely grippy. Okay, let me go wash my hands and then we can use the Lawless foundation. I am enjoying it. Maybe not as much as I'm enjoying the ABH one, but I'm still enjoying it. That's why I'm still like trying it around. I'm like, because I used the ABH foundation yesterday and I'm using the Lawless one today again, and I want to like keep the ABH foundation fresh in my mind because I'm trying to like compare them to each other, being like, are they the same? Which ones do I prefer? All of that in my mind. I think the ABH one is a little bit more matte and a little bit more long wearing, but I'm making up my mind still. I even forgot to turn on one of the lights. It was all dark here. Okay, we're better. So I'm gonna use a sponge today. Oh, I put it here. I'm gonna use a sponge today and we are gonna see how this one works out. I also wanted to say, I just came back. I've been gone for a bit and I'm leaving again soon. And honestly, I don't even know when this one is going up, but I think that when this one is going up, I might have already left for, yeah, this is a perfect shade for me now that I have a tan. Oh, that's actually so great. I tan very quickly, and I will say 3 half days in the sun in Florida, and summer's officially here. But yeah, I have a lot of travels going on, and I knew that going into 2025. I had a lot of travels happening in like April, which has already happened. I've been to Miami and I've been to Destin. First, I had a group trip with Samantha. We had a retreat with a bunch of absolutely wonderful people, and I am still editing that vlog. It might be up as you're seeing this, it might not. I do have a second channel where I upload. I'm a little bit more casual on that channel. I upload my book videos, I talk about books, and I also upload my travel vlogs. So that's where that vlog is going to be. I'm still in the process of editing it as I'm filming this one. And I also will upload some book videos there, of course, because I love talking about books. But I will say the past month and also the upcoming month, which is going to be May, are my 2 busy months of this year. I have 3 trips planned. So I just went to Florida for a week and a half. I'm back now for like 8 days, I think, and then I'm leaving for New York for half a week, and then I'm back for 2 weeks, and then I leave for Greece for 2 weeks. So these 2 months are very stressful. I'm also in the middle of launching a new item for my own indie brand, which is Singe Beauty, and I did recently have a video about that. That was probably last week, if you want to hear more about that. And I also will say I am not doing the best with my mental health right now. And it's because I've been getting some bad news behind the scenes that I really don't want to talk about online. I know for some people, they deal with their feelings by talking about them with people and sharing. I'm not that person. That's not me. Sometimes I share stuff because I kind of like don't want people to ask about it. But yeah, I deal with it in different ways. I talk with my friends behind the scenes. I talk with my husband. That's how we deal with it. I'm not the kind of person that is that open with like grief. And I don't even want to be. I'm happy the way I am, even though I understand that not everybody can relate to that, but that's perfectly fine for me. So all of this has been really grating at me, and I have not been doing the best, which is probably why I am, and this is me taking a stab in the dark, stab in broad daylight. I do think we'll be seeing a couple of less videos. I usually upload 3 to 4 videos a week, and I'm just saying there might be some weeks when there's 2 videos, because just now, May, I'm saying May and maybe half of June, there might be some days, some weeks where there's a little less, and it's because I haven't been able to fully rally and pre-film. I also feel like sometimes, and that's something that I need to remember too, sometimes it's better to just not upload anything at all than to upload something that's, is this really bringing something? And that's something that I need to remember too. And I feel like I have been a full-time YouTuber for so long that it almost stresses me out a little bit when I'm like, I can't miss an upload. But I have friends that have said this to me as well. Sometimes it's like even better to miss an upload than to upload something that's just not gonna get great views. And I do agree with that, because sometimes I feel like I'm stressing myself to do a video, but what I really, really wanted to do was just, let me get a brush. Ooh, I'm gonna do a Singe F03. Singe is, like I said, my own beauty brand. These are if you ever see these brushes and also the sponge, these tools are from Singe Beauty, which is my own brand, and I will link them down below. And I feel like sometimes I need to remember that sometimes I feel, let me see if I can draw this right on. Like I said, this is from MORPHE. No, I don't think so. It's not emollient enough. Sometimes I feel like I start a day and I'm like, oh, I really need to film today. And then I look at my schedule and I'm like, you know what I really need to do? is like do something with Cinch. I need to have a meeting with my packaging designer. I need to go over some barcodes. I need to finalize some concepts. I need to have a meeting with my lab. There's so many things. And I'm like, no, I need to film. And it's like, it's not as important. And I think for me, I'm in this process right now where I want to share my time being a YouTuber and also owning a business. And I simply do not have time to do both full time, which is why I decided to, oh my God, do you hear the wind? It's crazy. Which is why I decided this year that I was going to give Cinch even more of my time. And I just need to stick to that as well. I will say next year, 2026, and this is also why I've decided to travel so much this year. I have a lot of travels coming up. It's because 2026, me and my husband are 95% sure that we are moving back to Europe because we want to move back to Europe, which is also why I'm taking this opportunity to do the travels this year, see my friends, do all the things, because next year that just will not be in the stars for me. Which is also something that I need to remember for myself, that take these opportunities while we have them, because we never know what's going to come in the future. I mean, I do know I'm not going to be here. I think that this looks honestly really good. I mean, if I like, oh, it's really emollient now, but it felt like it almost had a little bit of a layer. But now, yeah, now I can draw it on. Okay, so maybe I will say with this bronzer, it was super easy to blend out, but I said first I couldn't draw it on, but I think it might have been because it just had that like little almost layer that I had to break through. So this one was a new one from Morphe, and you know what? I think this looks great. I'll put the shade that I'm using down below in case you are interested, but I think it looks really pretty. I also have been so impressed, and I said that in a video recently about these new blushes from ColourPop. These are their liquid blushes with pearl. So I traveled with two of these. I traveled with this one that is in City Walk, and then I traveled with the peachy one as well. They are stunning. Stunning, 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 stunning. Absolutely love them. I will be using the Morphe blush today, but I just wanted to let you know that those blushes are so incredibly beautiful. I'm very impressed with them. But the Morphe blush that we are going to be using is called Sunset Swim. I'm not 100% sure. Will I be doing... This is also like, this could be a bronzer. I'm into like a little bit more of a brownie blush right now. I'm having a moment. But I'm just like, let's do the cream. Let's do the cream. And every time I use this brush, people ask me where it's from. And this is actually a Sigma brush. This is F08. And I like it, but I wish it was not this flimsy. It's a little bit too flimsy for my liking. But overall, I do actually like this version better than I like the version from BK Beauty, because this one is just a little bit smaller and more angled. But I wish it had more bristles. Maybe one day I'll do my own version, who knows. That looks really beautiful. This is a very brownie blush, but it definitely has a little bit of rosiness to it. I'm gonna dig into the middle one that is like more, I don't even know, is that a cream? Oh, it is a cream. That's a cream. Okay, that is a cream highlighter. Okay. Why? I mean, okay, maybe I'm a little silly, but I didn't realize that this is a cream highlighter, even though the flap goes over two of them. So this is not an exact dupe to the one size ones, because that one only has one cream. And this color is more buildable. The reason why I decluttered mine from One Size, and I love One Size as a brand, is because I felt like they were too pigmented, the shades that I've tried. So they almost made it a little bit hard to work with. Let me see what this powder is. So the powder is more like a, yeah, more like a satin blush. That's actually really pretty. That's beautiful. I do want to do a little bit of that liquid highlighter, but I almost want to set, oh, I'm going to use this one, of course. the Givenchy. Okay, so this is what I feel about the Givenchy, and I said that when I tried it. I'm not going to be using the brush that's here. This is great on my under eyes, not so great in my T-zone. So it keeps my under eyes really just, it keeps it smooth and not cakey, and it sets down the concealer and keeps it from creasing, but it doesn't set down my T-zone. It makes my T-zone oily. So for me, this is an under eye powder only, and like I said at the beginning, it is very fragranced. So let me see if I can use just a little bit of the powder. And then I'll do my T-zone at the end because I don't want to be oily. I did some brows and some lip liner off camera. I think we'll do lip liner first. So I have the ultra glossy lips, and look at this one. It's a green one. The other one is like a bronze and like a almost lavender pink. Those are pretty. What are the names? I love Tangled. Do you love Tangled? I love Tangled. It's one of actually my favorite Disney movies. I just think it's so sweet, and I always cry several times. And I love Pascal. So this Rapunzel and Flynn Rider. That's very cute. And this one is Pascal. Living my Pascal dreams. I did get sent this from ColourPop. I am on the ColourPop PR list, and I do have a code with ColourPop. So if you use my code Angelica, you will get 10% off at ColourPop. I think it works for everything except sale items and already discounted bundles. This is what the gloss looks like. This is a very sparkly green. I usually don't do sparkly glosses, but it smells very fruity. Okay. Interesting. Okay, this definitely has a green sheen. Okay, I did like a very like lighter cool toned lip liner to go with the gloss. I feel like this gloss would look so pretty with something warm as a lip liner too. Okay, there we are. It's looking honestly kind of good, and it's helping and making my teeth look a little okay. If you have a cooler undertone, or if you have like, if you have a cooler undertone, a cooler lip will help your teeth look whiter. If you have a more yellow undertone, actually a more almost like a yellow leaning lippy can help your teeth look less yellow. So for me, if I put on a cool toned lippy, they actually make my teeth look more yellow. I don't know, color theory, the more you know. But I think that this looks honestly really cute. Like I said, I think I'm the most excited about the liquid highlighters. This is Mother Gothel, and it is I See the Light. I See the Light is more like a peachy golden pink, and Mother Gothel is like a lighter. It seems to be like a almost like a very bright light gold with a little bit of a pink flip to it. And I'm definitely keeping both of these because I actually really like the highlighters from ColourPop, and I am so excited to see something different in a collection or in a collab from ColourPop. There has been so many, some kind of a lippy, God forbid they come up with a lip liner. Absolutely not. There's going to be a lippy, there's going to be either a glitter or a jelly much, and there's going to be a cheek product, and there's going to be a palette. Liquid highlighters, I'm so excited. So we're gonna do the one that is the peachy pink. I do think the cheeks look actually gorgeous. But let me get a brush. This doesn't really smell like anything. And let's add a little bit on and see what this looks like. That actually looks so good. Okay, I'm so excited about this one. Look at that. Oh, I love stuff like this. And that peachy pink. Oh, so excited. And this is an F07. Okay, I mean, I was already glowy, but now I'm feeling, ooh, that is very pretty. Big fan. Okay, before we go into the eyeshadow palette, I'm gonna give this, I might ruin everything. I'm gonna give this spray another chance. So this is the What is this? Easy Bake Setting Spray by Huda Beauty. I did get sent this in PR, but when I spray this on my face, and I've heard that this is the same for others, I get droplets on my face. And I heard when I did that, I got a lot of comments saying, A, you need to press all the way down because the packaging doesn't work properly otherwise. Let me see. Okay, there might be something to that. So like, don't spray half the way, spray fully all the way. And also, apparently other people were having the same problem. So let me spray all the way down and see if there's a difference. No, there's still droplets. I don't know if you can see. There's definitely droplets on my face. I don't love that. Okay. I need a longer arm. I need a longer arm, or maybe like an assistant. That's what I need. The palette, quite honestly, is gorgeous. You know what I don't like about this? It has glitter on it, which, I mean, it's beautiful. The packaging is stunning, and this is like glitter. Everything like everything is glittery. My dining room table is glittery, my dogs are glittery, my husband is glittery. I will find glitter in my cereal tomorrow. This will be passed down through generations. Glitter is everywhere. I look like I made out with a Christmas bauble, so I don't love that. But I will say the packaging is beautiful. This is so stunning, and you can see there is a gloss packaging on a matte, which is something that I love. And honestly, I think the color story is really beautiful. I put this yellow top. Okay, I'm saving that for my OnlyFans. So I put the yellow on because I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna play it up with this color story. I'm gonna do purple meets yellow with this really like glossy tan skin and somewhat green lips. So I'm thinking we'll start probably with these three out here, and I'll do yellow on the inner part. I feel like that's what we're doing. Okay, primer is on, and I am gonna start, I think I'm gonna start with an 06, and I'm gonna do this like warmer. Oh my god, I have a fuzzy in front of my eye, like I see it swimming around. I'm gonna try, it's called Mother Knows Best. Listen to Mother Knows Best. And now I want to watch that movie. I'm just gonna do a look, try out these colors, see how I feel about them. I feel like with ColourPop, that is beautiful. I feel like with ColourPop, every now and then they give us something that is like extraordinary, but overall, I do think that their eyeshadow quality is one of the better in the price range. And then every now and then they give us something where you're like, oh, wow, where have you been hiding this? But that is really pigmented and pretty. I'm liking that. So what have you been up to this spring? Do you celebrate Mother's Day that is coming, I think right now? Is it right now? I feel like it's maybe next weekend. So in Sweden, we actually celebrate Mother's Day on the last weekend of May. And I'm actually meeting my mom just after that, because she will be meeting me. After my trip in Greece, she will be meeting me. I'm taking the opportunity to hang out with her and my best friend, and we are doing something together for a couple of days until I have to head back to the US again and take care of our dogs, because Ricardo is heading for a conference. And also our Father's Day, I think the Mother's Day and Father's Day are both in spring, right? But in Sweden, and I don't even know if this is the same in other European countries or if this is like a Sweden thing. I'm gonna do it's called Lost Princess. This like more pastel-y purple. But I do know in Sweden, Father's Day is in October. And I know for me, I never really celebrated Father's Day. And now that I'm older, I kind of wish that I would have celebrated Father's Day with my stepdad. We never really did that. I didn't have, it's hard to explain. Someday, I don't know why this turned out into being like a get ready with me, sir. But I never really spent Father's Day with my real dad. Not that we had like a really bad relationship, but it was pretty strained because he was an addict pretty much my entire life. And we had an on and off relationship where he was more or less functioning. And if you've ever been around an addict, you know how hard it can be to be around them when all you want to do is help them and they are just not willing. And I spent a lot of time with my dad growing up, being around addiction, because it was also present in other parts of my father's side of the family, not my mother's side of the family. And it did make things really strained at times. I'm gonna do the darker one here now. It's called the Smolder, not the Smolder. And maybe one day I will do a video talking about addiction and how it affected my childhood and my views on a lot of things. I mean, alcohol, drugs, because there were definitely things that happened in my youth that made me have maybe a different view on all of it. This shadow is pretty weak, the Smolder. I can tell you right now, this is a pretty weak shade. It does not have a lot of grip to it. It is a little bit more sheer than I prefer in a deep shade, but I can make it work. But I can tell you already, it's a little bit too thin and flimsy to be my favorite. My dad actually passed away during the time that I was on YouTube. I never talked about it here because, again, I'm gonna do magic hair, which is very fitting this yellow, because again, I didn't have that great relationship with my dad. And it comes back to what I talked about in the beginning of this video, which is I am not very good at talking about like my feelings and my grief, and with my dad especially, my very complicated feelings with my grief for my dad, who was someone at this point I didn't really have a relationship with at all. We were never angry with each other. We were never estranged. I just had a really hard time meeting him because, I mean, he threw away his life. He threw away the love of his life, his family, his opportunities, his work, his friends, everything he had going for him for this addiction that he never really actually faced. And he was so kind. Like, he was never mean. He was the kindest person alive, which honestly was his biggest downfall, because he was so likable and nice, even in his absolute worst, that nobody really let him hit rock bottom, because they were like, oh, but he's so nice. And I think that that actually hurt him, because he never got to be at rock bottom. And I remember when he died, I visited him at the hospital, and he had no idea what I was doing. He didn't know that I had graduated from university. He didn't know I had a degree. He didn't know anything about my life. But I heard from hearsay that he was at the hospital. I came there to visit him, and he told the doctor, "This is my daughter, and I am so proud of her." And that's like the unconditional love from a parent, because he didn't know what to be proud of. Because quite honestly, he had no idea what I had been doing in my life. He didn't know that I was married. He didn't even know if I had kids. He didn't know what I work with. He knew nothing about me, because I had stopped visiting him, because every time I visited him, it was hard to not talk about the elephant in the room, which was, why are we drunk at like 10 a.m.? How do I feel about this? It's okay. It's okay. What do I want to put in the middle? Okay, so I'm doing all those days, which is the purple that's in the corner, this one. I'm doing that one, and I think we'll put some of the yellow next to it, or maybe the lavender. Honestly, I don't know what I'm doing. Famous last words. I like a classic shimmer. I think they look beautiful on the eyes. I think they wear beautiful on the eyes. I feel like they're a little bit underestimated. They just look flattering on the eyes. They look beautiful. That is not a mirror, sweetie. So I don't mind having that in a palette. I'm gonna blend this out with a little bit more of that dark matte. I'm gonna do this lavender that is called Live Your Dream. And I think I'm just gonna put that, again, I'm gonna spritz it. And I think I'm gonna put that next to the purple, like here. Yeah, just on the edge, like that. I'm thinking maybe the whitish one here. I feel like it has a little bit of a gold sheen to it. So I'm thinking maybe we'll do that just on the inner part. Okay, let's see. What does this give? Oh yeah, this definitely is a white with a pale gold sheen to it. Perfect for that transition into the yellow. Okay, that turned out better than what I can hope for. So just initial impression using the palette, it's okay. ColourPop has done better, they have done worse, but I'm not blown away by either the mattes or the shimmers. I think the one that impressed me the most is this middle, like warmer purple. It's decent, but not more than that. Let's try the new mascara, and I think the look is done. Oh my god. I still think, I need to think about it, but I still think the liquid highlighter is my favorite. And also, how good was that bronzer? Okay, let me do the lower lashes first. Worked really good on my lower lashes. Where's my curler? Ooh, I should probably have zoomed in a bit. Wait, let me do this. Remove the microphone and just, this is what everything looks like. I'm sorry I didn't zoom in. I wanted to talk a bit, but I think everything looks really beautiful. It's just the eyeshadow is maybe just a little bit weak. Okay, let's see what one layer of this mascara does. Still can't see anything. Okay, so here we are. One layer on one side, nothing on this side. I think it works out really good, but I almost wish the formula was a little wetter, because I feel like I'm not getting as much product on the lash as I would want to. But if you are preferring a formula that's a little bit more drier already from the get-go with a plastic bristle wand, I think this could be a good one. I mean, it looks good. I just prefer it to be a little bit more wetter from the get-go. That's what he said. Okay, let me see if I can get Pascal out. I mean, he's cute, but honestly, he's adorable. This will be my little pull thing this summer for sure. I don't know if I can, maybe Pascal should have stayed in, because this hair is not Rapunzel. This hair is giving mother. Overall, I think the makeup look turned out really cute. I like how the eye look turned out. I think it looks really beautiful. Could I have done this easier with even better pigmentation with something in my collection? I'm gonna argue yes on that point. I feel though my absolute favorite product that I used today, and I already knew, was this golden peachy pink liquid highlighter from ColourPop. I already knew I was gonna like this one. This will be amazing. I like this formula a lot. It does dry down, but it doesn't dry down powdery, so it looks really dewy and beautiful on the skin, but it's not sticky on the skin. I also really like that this one doesn't have like a lot of like shimmer in it, because I think the pink one that they released, even though it's a beautiful color, it is a little bit glittery on the cheek, and this one doesn't feel like that. This one will be perfect to mix with all my liquid blushes to make them even more glowy. Super excited. I'm also very excited with these two Morphe products. Honestly, what? Send help. Honestly, my cheek looked beautiful. My hair, not so much. Don't look at that. No, honestly, Pascal might have been here saving the day. Beautiful. Whatever is going on, because Morphe got bought, so they're under new management and new owners, and whatever is going on, hats off. I really enjoy all the things that I have tried from Morphe. I do know some people tried their eyeshadows and they weren't super impressed, but like the cheek duos, really beautiful. Bronzer sticks, really beautiful. I tried something else from them that I really liked as well. Concealer is beautiful. That face powder, the finishing powder, so beautiful. They had something else that I liked as well. What was that? I don't even remember, but they had something else I really enjoyed as well. I can't even remember what it is, but I've been really impressed with the things that they've been releasing, and it makes me excited to see that they're just having a fresh new start under new management, and that we can have another fun, affordable brand to get products from, because who doesn't want that? But let me know what one was your favorite. If you've tried any of these products, I would love to hear your thoughts about this. And I will have quite soon, I'm in the trenches. I'm trying to just catch up with everything, but I will have another one of my review roundups where I rank everything that I've been trying and that I am ready to review, from my least favorite to my absolute favorite. That will be a video that we will be having soon. I hope you're having a great day, and I'll see you soon again.